our constant dialogue with you from time to time.
Currently, Botswana enjoys strong diplomatic relations at regional and international levels through bilateral and multilateral cooperation and collaborations, as evidenced by her leadership roles in regional and international organizations.
It is also worth noting that through our interaction with the international community, about 100 Botswana are employed in regional and international organizations such as the Southern African Development Community, the World Bank, African Union, and the United Nations. As we journey towards 2036, I implore you, as Botswana's top diplomats in your countries of coverage, to engage our international partners for the attainment of the ideals of our national vision and sustainable development goals. Since the achievement of our development aspirations and goals cannot be the work of the government and diplomats alone, I wish to also appeal to and urge Botswana, including those in the diaspora, to also take part in advancing these aspirations and goals.
Meanwhile, these envoys are confident that the conference will attain the intended purpose.
Envoys are deliberating on the ways and means of utilizing global engagement to achieve our strategic goals, including the attainment of high-income status by 2036. Indeed, Botswana's national leadership has reaffirmed its commitment to multilateralism, as HE himself indicated this evening, to global and regional economic integration, to global peace and security, to digital inclusion, and the deepening of friendship among nations.
Your Excellency, in this regard, we'd like to congratulate and encourage to continue your efforts toward peace and stability in the region, on the African continent, and in the world. On behalf of the Diplomatic Corps, we'd like to reiterate that you are fully committed to strengthen the relation of friendship and cooperation between our country and international organizations with the governments and the people of the Republic of Botswana.
Furthermore, President Masisi reaffirmed his government's commitment to cordial relations with these envoys' respective countries to secure a prosperous future for generations to come. Tlotla Matlabapiri, BTV News, Gaborone.
Meanwhile, the government has taken a decision to allow for the release of employees today on the 4th of April 2024 at 3 p.m. The press statement released this morning states the decision is based on the need to allow public servants in all districts to attend the nationwide memorial service at 5 p.m. in honor of the victims of the fatal road traffic accident that claimed the lives of 45 Botswana who were on an Easter pilgrimage to South Africa. In implementing this decision, accounting authorities should ensure that skeletal staff remain to allow minimal disruptions to service delivery. And on the same note, a national memorial will be held in remembrance of the 45 lives lost in a bus crash in South Africa and different regions around the country today. The main memorial service will be held at the University of Botswana Indoor Sports Arena from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock today. President Dr. Masisi, who is expected to join multitudes of mourners here in Gaborone, has conveyed condolences and support for the families of the victims of the Limpopo bus crash. He assured families that a team of experienced doctors, police and forensic experts are on the ground to assist in identification of corpses ahead of repatriation of the remains. Meanwhile, residents of Serowe from different backgrounds will gather to remember the bereaved families. Our reporter Lovemore Mario earlier spoke to Joey Mutibi on preparation as national memorial services are expected today.
Memorial service make supe jalo gore go ka kwano mo Serowe tota mo kgaolong yone ya le gare kana Central District ke gone mo ile gore ke hate go pie ko mo khoteng ya Serowe ka ga morago ga meka ga ja ka go itshupa gone yana ke seemo se ile gore se te ba ipakantse jalo go ipakanyetso jalo yone tiro e ile gore e dirwe jalo ke puso ya memorial service tota gone jalo go ta go tsena jalo gone mo go gomotseng bone ba malapa ile gore ba lategetse jalo gore mo kotsi ile gore e nile masisi jalo ka malatsi a pase Africa go ne ka kwa lehatsi la Africa borwa mme ke supe jalo gore mo motshegare wa gompieko maphakela tota ke ne ka tsamaya jalo morago ga go lemoga gore bontsi jwa Batswana jalo gone mo seroe mo makalaneng a harologane tota kana di-company tse di ikemetseng ka nosi ga mmogo le dikolo hela jalo ke ne ka tsamaya jalo ka ya ko sekolong se le sa Swaneng Hill Senior Secondary School se se golwane tota ko ke itseng teng le gore badiri ba ko ile barutabana ba ne ba ikgobokantse mme ba dumelana jalo gore ba apara jalo tsone diaparo tse dintsho le gone tsela gore ba lemoga jalo gore ba lathegetse tota le gone gore ba lela jalo le bone ba malapa le gore a lathegetse jalo gone mo kotsing yone eo ke bone jalo barutabana ke ne ka tsena mo ditlelaseng ke ba ithela raitso le gore ba ne ba tsweletse ba ruta ba pere yone paka entsho eo ke ne ka tsamaya gape ka tsamaya jalo ka ya go lefelo le la Toyota Halfway Motors go ile gore gone ke marekisetso a dikoloi tota tsone tsa Toyota go gone gape ke itsetse badiri ba ko le bone ra ba ne ba supa jalo gore ba mo kuto bothoko yone e le gore la tseleno le lathegetse jalo gone ka go gape ke itsetse le gore badiri ba ko ba pere bontsho le bone mme ba theogetse ralo ba kene ka tsone dikoloi tseo ba theogetse jalo gone mo di-office tsa bone ba rekisa di-parts ba ntse ba supa hela gone gore ba joine lehatshe le bani ba molepolo le motategelo ya bone mme ra itse ke supe gore morago ga go tsamaya jalo ke ne ka buisana le bangwe ba ile gore bone ba ne ba ntsha molaetsa tota wa kgomotso e le gore le bane le bone ba le malapa lathegetswe ra itse a re ba utlwe gore bone ba re.
On behalf of my students, I'd like to offer my condolences to the children who lost their parents in the tragic accident. Tota go tsa bothoko gore bana ba latlhegetswe ke batsadi ka tsela e ntseng yana. But ke le monana le nna ka rata go kgothatsa bana ba teng gore ba leke go nna le inner strength mo nakong. And I hope that the country as well will find a way of helping them in the best way they can.
Re libile lone le hokola modimo le reng o gauhile ba ba pelo di bothoko ebile ga ke tla re togela le ha ile gope re dumela gore mo tsholegelo e re na le yone mo modimo o ta re tataisa o ta re hodisa mme re ta holla ruri ka lena le legolla mo le rena Jesu Kriste
re le ba swaneng ra kopana ra ipua gore ka mo laetsa o dule le rona re borele mo teng re supa gore re utlwile bothoko ra go motsa bao ba tlhokagaletsweng re tla re ba gaetso go bothoko mme modimo a nne le lona.
Now, in the same spirit, the Molepolole residents as well as those in other districts have started gathering for the memorial service of the victims of the fatal road traffic accident that claimed the lives of 45 Botswana who were on an Easter pilgrimage to South Africa. BTV reporter Lakito Teng reports from Molepolole Khotla.
Ke a go amogela mo Molepolole mme ke ha le baleng la ditiragalo le gore re sologetse gone ga go to tshwarelwang teng segopotso sa ba le ba ba re togetseng mo kotsiele ya base kwa Limpopo mme ke lehelo le hape le hela ga kereke ya ZCC yone ya St Ignace mme go tswelediša kgang ya rona pele ke na le molaodi wa kgaolo Mete Bogoba Gopi yo le gore ke ene re batlang gore go ngwa re tlhalosetse ka dipaakanyo tsa go bankanyetsa sone segopotso sa kgante le gore tota dipankanyo di tsweletse manako a gompieno
re tsweletse sentle ka dipaakanyo re simolotse pele re dumalana le boeteledipele jwa motse le kereke gore ka gore go latlhegetswe malapa mantsinyana mme ebile malapa o kana ga se a mo Molepolole hela re na le ba ba ko Thamaga re na le ba ba ka ko Ditshegwane mme gape kana Motswana o itse le Motswana o na le masika gongwe le gongwe re be re dumalana gore go na le gore re tshwarele tiro ya rona kwa re tshwarele gone ha kerekeng gona tiro e simolotseng teng so re simolotse go baakanya ka go pha pele ga kereke re be re ba ditente le ditilo jalo ga gona motlakase ha kerekeng re tso go batla generator e ka re thusang gore jaaka dithoto tsa puso di le ha bosigo le motsegare go tshujwe re batlile security se leng gore se tlhokomela dithoto tsone tseo le mo bosigong mme se sengwe gape se leng gore le mo gore se so ha kerekeng ke ha go itikediwang teng re lebeletse gore mo teng ga kereke ne re sa batla gore batho ba tsene ba le bantsi be ka toga ga nna mmudubudu re be re dumalana le kereke gore re batle dithoelete tse di tla nnang kwa ntle e le tsone tse di tla dirisiwang ke morafe a ntse o tla kwana fo merapelo le ka re tla be re tla maitse boa gompieno ga nngwe re lekileng go irulaganya ke gone go kgophela ga go phekiwang teng kgantele ga go setse go tiwa mo tirong go dikolo di kgone gore di bona ha di pakang teng ene sa bohelo gongwe e ka nna gone gore tse dingwe dipaakanyo di tsweletse ya ka go le ba ka morago ditantero ke ditse ditante ka ke setse ke boletse re sologetse merahi o montsi o tla tlang o tsholegala mo Molepolole
ke me ba go bitsa kana re hape go hela gore dithulaganyo ka kwano di tsweletse jang mme re tabentse re tswela re tsamaya re beile seemo re sologela gore segopotso se e tare ka nako a bone mo maitseboeng e tabe moragi othe o phuthegetse ha go to gopola ba ba thokagetse mo kutseo ya bese ya kereke ya SADC ya setting na se ko South Africa.
Now, moving on with our stories, President Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi has expressed his dissatisfaction towards the rotation of the Southern African Development Community chairmanship. President Masisi shared with the Executive Secretary of SADC, Mr. Elias Mahosi, that 1 year is not adequate for SADC chairperson to supervise the Secretariat and perform other duties that matter to the region. He said this as Mr. Mahosi paid him a courtesy visit this morning. Kikantse Kumalo reports.
The Southern African Development Community chairperson oversees the highest level of the governance structure of the SADC and controls all functions of the organization. At the moment, the region is faced with various challenges, which include poverty, lack of infrastructure, and political and security issues. And President Masisi is of the view that a 1-year tenure of the chairperson is too short for the elected leader to address all these challenges.
I think we also think in SADC in the way it reports to members. I'm personally dissatisfied about this thing of rotation of chair every year. I think it should last longer because then the chair can supervise the secretariat much better. Right now, I don't think it's adequate. But we are thinking about SADC also with respect to its role in peace building and peace maintenance, security and security cooperation matters. I think it's done very well so far.
As the host of the headquarters of SADC Secretariat, Botswana wishes to interact and engage more with the organization.
It's been a while since we headquartered SADC here, and there ought to be a change in the location of the headquarters here, in how we interact with SADC. We also have been engaging with my minister here and some of the senior officials, including the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of State President, in thinking about SADC. I have also been engaging with my colleagues, other heads of state, about thinking about SADC. And I think we're all agreed that we can make it much more effective than it is, much more potent, much more felt, as it should.
Our key thing for me is to really look at projects and programs that are making a difference in the lives of the citizens of this region. I've had engagement with ICPs, Your Excellency, quite a broad range of them, talking about what they've supported and how they've supported us before. We think it's time. We've done enough tools, we've done enough protocols, enough agreements, enough implementation plans. It's about time now to implement those things and really focus on where we're making a difference.
On other issues, the President advised the SADC Secretariat to take action against members who do not pay up their membership subscription on time. Kikansai Kumalo, BTV News, Gaborone.
The Vice President, Mr. Slamba Tsohwane, says the government's decision to upgrade Ramatlabama Artificial Insemination Laboratory and Training Center at a cost of over 93 million pula is a sign of government's commitment to improve and uplift livelihoods of citizens. The Vice President said this during the Botswana Democratic Party Central Committee tour of the facility at Ramatlabama. Gilbert Mohorosi reports.
Ramatlabama Artificial Insemination AI Laboratory and Training Center maintenance and refurbishment project includes upgrading infrastructure and introducing AI in small stock, as well as multiple ovulation embryo transfer in both small stock and cattle, which is expected to be completed next year in March.
ba itemogele ba rokotsege ko ba leng teng ba te ba bone khumo ya lehatshe la bone tlhabololo ya leruo ka ha e tsweletseng ka teng leruo le leng teng le le bonang le tlile go nna khumo ya motswana mongwe le mongwe mohumanegi mongwe le mongwe wa go nna le seabe ka gore ye khumo e ya motswana tota.
The Ramatlabama Upgrading Project is amongst the key initiatives that government is currently investing in to develop the livestock sector. In implementing the reset agenda, the artificial insemination program was identified as one of the inflection points to drive the ministry goals of increasing the national herd and improving its genetic merit.
It is anticipated that Ramatlabama Artificial Insemination Center upgrading will help unlock business opportunities in the livestock sector and promote private sector participation in the areas of stud and commercial breeding.
di meroto e tlhabolotsweng ya dikgomo jaanong ba kgona go e bona ka madi a botlase
go nte go ditharing kwa dilo ga di nne ya ka ha re utwa ngwana rona a di bolela gone gore go dirwa se go dirwa se go dirwa se go dirwa se go nte go bua di selehela jaanong ha go ne go letala gore mapolotiki ano a ta gone re kgona gona re ganetsana na bo sente go botoka e seng re utwa hela go nte re se tsuru go tota ga to go tse jang kwana.
The Vice President further acknowledged the importance of educating farmers and individuals across the country about the services at Ramatlabama EI Center, hence encouraging the general public, political parties, societies and associations to feel free to visit the facility and acquire more information and understanding on the importance of improving quality and increasing the local herd. Gilbert Morrison, BTV News, Ramatlabama.
We're broadcasting live from Gaborone, the capital. Thank you for staying with us. Now, as we continue with our story, some Dikgosi in the Shoshone district have expressed concern over shortage of resources. They say this hinders them from diligently executing their duties. Dikgosi said this in a meeting with the area member of parliament for Shoshone, Mr. Obrile Sasso, in Shoshone. Lamo Mario and Peo Kebapisa have more.
Dikgosi as village leaders are mandated for ensuring that there is peace in their villages and expected to guide the community to positive behavior. Kgosi Felix Kamani of Shoshone village maintained that lack of resources such as vehicles and office space limits the execution of their roles effectively.
So we tell motse mongwe le mongwe o runyang o nna le kgosi o nna le lephata la tribal metona go lebega o ka reng lephata le ga le kgone
mutela bothata bo le transport. For example, nna ke ha dibete tsela re ga tsa ke ngwe batho ba ke leng ga go le bone ke ba ka gagateng yo ra ngoro go pakolo di ja go di gatole ka gagateng even invitation we so the invitation tsa ke di tsoka gagateng mme ke tsela go ke tsa ka tsa botsipa ka go gagateng belo ka ka ba plaka go rona yo ra go re di go di apala a di tole.
The Member of Parliament for Shosho, who is also the Assistant Minister of Education, Mr. Obrile Sasso, encouraged Dikgosi to prioritize their roles and share resources while still awaiting government to provide the necessary resources.
Ko ba le dirang bogosi le bone ko ba dirang ditiro teng go ipena go re nya ma ke tswa mo motseng wa me ke go benchmark gore ke bona gore ene o tsamaisa go ta ya go jang go dira jang go ka thusa jang gore ke dire tiro ya me ka bakgabane a mme mo go tlhaloganyeng yone molao ko ne tso go dirisa ka go tshwanetseng.
Dikgosi were urged to desist from any political engagements and affiliation, but rather concentrate on their job of ensuring peace amongst the community. Love More Mario, BTV News, Shosho.
The Member of Parliament for Boteti East, Mr. Setomo Lelatisizo, has informed residents of Mukubilo that anticipated projects in the district, such as a clinic and electrification, will be done in the current financial year. Mr. Lelatisizo said this when addressing a Khotla meeting in Mukubilo.
In his consultative meetings after the conclusion of the Parliament sitting, which discussed, among others, the budget speech, Mr. Lelatisizo informed residents that some of the projects in the village have been funded and will commence this financial year.
Project Kona le patalatso ya motakasi yene kutwa BDC kana ke mo councilor a bua ka yone madi a project eo a dule gore gonne le patalatso ya motakasi o gorogang go di site tse di sha ke khanye le tswang khakala di bua ka yone ke tsa jalo gore di tatisa pharologano mo motseng.
Lack of rains, which led to drought this year, worries the village leadership.
Aki tsohore ra go nna ba hama me ke ya ka ke tshepa puso ya rona ke solohela gore e tla re belega
ke dulela ka ke tsena ka ke tsotso ke tswa ga sape go tshimo a go a thogala ha ile sepe go maswehela thata balimi bote e bile mo go thogileng ya ka o itse rena le diphologolo tse go tomboto di setse di simolotse go atheka
ya bulwa ka April ya ra go lebelwa dikgang tse dintsi ngwe ya tsone le tsa molao motheo ngwe e le tsone tsa luku le le gore le ha pele ga rona.
Residents complained over delays in allocation of residential plots by the land board.
Di sa tsela gore se di ta tli be mo kubilo ke 742 mme batho ba apply le bone ba over 2000 mme go supa ile gore bangwe ba ile gore ba masimo ile gore go se go diplot mo bone ga go se go nna go kopa le bone go buisa le bone.
Ke re khanya ditsa ga e ro ba tse di le thusa botlhoko ha o lebella gore ke kae ke sa le ke na le ngwaga ke kae ke apply almost 11 years.
Le re gatetse pele e tara harra go le khantsa rona la tsamaiso kana ke le ke gona re tere thuise go tsa dingwe go gautshwane ya ba masimo rena le one re buile le ba ga rona ba ta goro ga beke la telanye re ta go tswedisa ha.
Mr. Lelatisizo implored residents to utilize available government programs aimed at uplifting their lives. Sebetsen Teboho, BTV News, Mokubilo.
Now, in our last story, the Botswana Stock Exchange and Stanbic Bank launched the Stock Market Simulator, an online tool that allows investors to practice their stock picking skills without investing real money. According to BSE's Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Tapelo Tseole, a financially literate population better equipped to make informed decisions and manage risks and seize opportunities contributes to the overall prosperity and stability of the economy. Unkutlile Tamache has more.
Financial literacy plays an important role in shaping the economic landscape of the nation. Despite its paramount importance, financial literacy remains an area of concern in Botswana, with many individuals, particularly the youth, lacking the necessary knowledge and skills to navigate the complexities of the financial landscape.
We're going to start with secondary schools, and then we move to tertiary schools. After high school is simulated. And then there's going to be a national competition where every Botswana or every person in the country is going to log into the simulator, and then we give them visual portfolio, and then they just simulate the market.
This partnership is a clear sign of two entities who are interested in working together. The bank has sponsored the simulator to the value of 1,485,000 over 3 years. Through interactive sessions and practical exercises, users will gain invaluable insights into investment principles, risk and portfolio management.
The launch of a stock market simulator also underscores Botswana Stock Exchange's commitment to align with President Masisi's national digital transformation strategy drive towards leveraging technology for the benefit of Botswana towards a knowledge-based economy.
Financial education is important, but so I can't emphasize that enough. It's important that as Botswana we understand this aspect, because from our engagements with even during the open days that we hosted around the country, it was very clear that financial education is still very much a challenge. And as an exchange, technology is at the core of our activities. We have not been shy in terms of saying that we want to be at par with some of the developed exchanges around the world as far as technology.
We are proud as a school that as of today, we have more than 25 learners who are seriously involved in the business of investment. We have one learner who was part of the position 1, got the 2.5 shares, and was able to convince the parents, and they bought him an extra 10,000 worth of shares.
The stock market simulator competition is popular among secondary schools across the country and was introduced to cultivate a culture of investing at a grassroots level. Ungutle Thamage, BTV News, Gaborone.
And with that last story, we now hand over to the sports news with Ntebogang Sebetlela, who's on standby.
Thank you very much, Khomoza Houtukile. Now in context, the sports news follows with me, Ntebogang Sebetlela. Local motorbike rider Ross Branch finished on position 7 on the stage 1 of the ongoing BP Ultimate Rally at Portugal. Kalahari Ferrari, who was on the lead at the beginning of stage 1, failed to keep the lead due to his minor bike crash during the race. Tosh Askaren of Monster Energy won the 35-kilometer stage 1 race, followed by Lorenzo Santolino Sanchez, while Skylar, who as of USA, finished third. Kalahari Ferrari will continue with stage 2 of the competition today.
Hey guys, so that's prologue and stage 1 in the bag, and yeah, interesting day for me. Prologue was so much fun. I really enjoyed my time on the bike, and it was like a motocross track. It was nicely watered and prepared, and made a small mistake and had a little crash at the end of the prologue, so lost a bit of time there. And then yeah, stage 1 was yeah, difficult. You know, we're not used to this kind of terrain, and obviously we're used to the wide open stuff, so going into the tight forests and stuff was different. And no, it wasn't too bad. And yeah, 15 Ks before the end, I jumped off the track and had a crash. Yeah, but I'm okay. Got a small hole in my tongue and a little bit of a hit to the head, but all in all we're good and ready for tomorrow. And it's yeah, it's interesting in the weather. It's nice and slippery out there, right in the forest, and yeah, so happy to have so many supporters here. You know.
Botswana's Esimulefe defeated Maisela of South Africa 6-4 in the round of 16 of the ongoing ITF Under-18 J30 Gaborone to book a quarter-final berth with Doja Aston of Germany. Khomozo Safako.
Motivated by the home support, Molefe controlled the match from the onset, taking a 5-2 lead before losing control on the 8th game, losing 2 games in a row. However, the next game was a much contested affair, but Molefe pounced on Maisela's serves, breaking them twice on the 11th game to take it 5-4 before forcing a navy finish of 6-4 in the first set. The second set was a copy of the first, though this time around the duo extended the lead before the Letakane born shifted the gears on the 9th game, taking advantage of his opponent's unforced errors as he won 2 games in a row to clinch the match with a 6-4, 6-4. Molefe will now face Joshua Aston of Germany, who edged out Nicholas Rees of South Africa 4-6, 6-3, 7-5.
I was trying something new when I was playing against him, so it was really tough. In the end, it was a tight score, 6-4, 6-4. Yeah, so but next match I'm also going to start trying something new for my opponent because everyone plays differently here. So in the end, it was all up to the umpire to decide what she thought happened because I saw the ball in, but he called it out.
In other games, Magnawa will battle it out with Rich Warwick of South Africa in the quarterfinals after he downed Tlumani Kekana 6-3, 6-3. Morgan Jordan of South Africa defeated Simpia Malunguza of Zimbabwe 6-6, while Helena Jans van Rysbeck eliminated Chanel Zwakini of Zimbabwe 6-1, 6-4. Khomzo Sefago, PTV Sport, Gaborone.
Now in football, Gaborone United and Police 11 played to a goalless draw in the Botswana Premier League game played at the National Stadium last night. The draw leaves their Rats still seated on position 3 with 38 points, while the Jungle Kings occupy 13th slot with 20 points. Let us take a look at the highlights.
Are bona danger aba sireletsa nelele boditsile yang go pele gora bona tabo ya ramagi ente are bona ba tsela ka lotho la molema aba sireletsa ko morago seswe ka bona le gale ya motsaka lebu ana tsala pelo ke Allen Ntotole tsamekela mo go molebatsi Thalefo e boko wa Thalefo molebatsi.
When you look at the second half, they were coming to us and we've created a low block to say at least if we can win the game, let's at least block them, try to get a point which will make us a step forward. I think it was very difficult, more so that when you look at their introductions, the small boys started controlling the midfield. We resorted to say, no, okay, if we keep on applying pressure and keep on being concentrated, we'll be able to catch them probably on counter-attacks. But we failed in numerous times.
Unbelievable. We can't score without a goalkeeper. No goalkeeper, we can't score. This is, with all the due respect to the opponent, this is a game where we would have scored easily, won it by 4 goals, 5 goals, easily. With the chances that we had, we can't convert. We work on these things, almost every day. But it is what it is. What can we do? A very disappointing result for sure. We had a very, very average first half, if not poor. Then we came in the second half very good, very strong. We were just all over the opponent. We tried to use the width as much as possible. And when we also reverted to our diamond 4-4-2 and tried to push the fullbacks forward as much as we could, and that worked for us. We put a lot of balls into the prime scoring area where we could have scored so many chances. Really. But it was a good, performance in the second half.
In other results, Orapa United lost 2-0 against Murupule Wanderers. Piraf 11 and Tafik played to a 1-1 draw. Holy Ghost and bottom place Nico United shared points after playing to a 1-1 draw. John and Galaxy increased their lead at the top of the table after defeating Security Systems 2-0. 11 Angels won 2-1 against the Matebele, while Sua Flamingos and Township Rollers shared the spoils after a goalless draw. And now the founder of Bond Boxing Promotions, Bond Ngumbula, has confirmed that the ultimate battle boxing event that was scheduled for this weekend has been postponed for reasons beyond their control. Ngumbula further explained that the main reason they cancelled the event was a lack of support from other local promoters who he said feel threatened by the growth of their brand. Ngumbula said these internal squabbles drove the sponsors away as they did not want their business brands to be dragged into local professional boxing promoters' internal fights.
We have differences. Remember, this is a business, and I'm not quite sure what, currently Bond Boxing is one club that is staging events, and all eyes are on us, or we're the target. And I don't know whether it's part of our culture as Botswana to not support one another. So sponsors or partners are sensitive when it comes to controversial issues. They want to protect their brands and so on. So when they see some level of risk or where they think their brand can be compromised, they take a backseat.
From In Context, the sports desk that was all we had for you this hour until we meet again later in the day. For now, thank you for staying with us and good afternoon.
I'm delighted to host this important gathering aimed at enhancing our collective efforts to prevent the use of biological weapons and promote biosafety and biosecurity on the